See, I'm back on my. See, I'm back on my bulls. Hey, see, I'm back on my bulls. Came a long way from school. We done been banging and walking with full clips. Pocket filled with them blue strips. All I hang with the solid came with no loose lips. If he ran, cut him loose quick. If a trap at his make the news quick. Hit these blue tips. But these won't shoot shit. Cause these peons ain't stepping how my stepping. Walk them down, but that teach them a lesson. I been kicking cool and got paper like Messi. I'm Zion, yo, red. She say that she love how my bitch be dressing. How that Audemars go with that neck. My features are dub, my shoulders a blessing. I got paper. Come on. Ha, sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink Gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn.
All right,
Dead right,
back
hit the
live.
head right, nigga there, and night. Papa been school since
another episode of Degen Fantasy. A lot of extra work and shit done in the background specifically to try to get this one up. But yeah, we're good to roll. Welcome in. So today's episode on November 19th at 6:30 p.m. We are going to get into some fantasy football shit as well as looking into cooks and parlays tonight. Something we've been moving away from a little bit because we have so many of you coming in specifically for the fantasy football side. So excited to see what we can build out. Unfortunately, my phone is the camera, so I'm gonna have to find a way to place these on like maybe another phone or something. But double down here with a fresh new whip, fresh new computer. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Need to replace the camera, but yeah, we're fine. I'm not happy with the camera. Doing good otherwise, though. Yesterday, I was in the middle of writing the script. You guys don't know, we write movies too and make movies. I was in the middle of writing our next movie, and the computer just absolutely disintegrated before me and won't turn on now. So today, I had to run out, get a new computer, and now we're fucking here.
So let's see if we can get Dan some of his money back off this new computer. So we're going to start, before we get into anything fantasy-wise, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We will get to them. We're going to start with some sports betting and then get into some fantasy football later on TikTok. So to bring it in off rip, I wanted to look at just what I got for any lines that I can find on DraftKings. And I'll make this bigger so you guys can see it because I know it's kind of small. Let's take a look real quick. So looking into the NHL, we will switch between NHL and NBA. Before that, Dan, how'd you do this weekend on NFL? Because usually that's where we do best, first and foremost. But secondly, like it's one of the more profitable, more popular sports betting, like sports in general. So let me know how your weekend went.
It went good. I'm very lucky that I also play everything singly as well as parlays, but had a lot of parlays that were just like one leg off, couple, like just one or two legs off. But overall, I think I had like a pretty solid weekend. It was I think like 9-3 when it came to like single props. I thought it was pretty good.
There you go.
Missed on Tank Dell yesterday, I think by like, or wait, no, I hit Tank Dell yesterday because kind of assumed that Nico coming back, it was gonna be a couple games before he got like into the rhythm of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really am kicking myself in the ass about is not playing fucking Joe Mixon. I should have just played him. I played him for an anytime touchdown that hit like rather easily, but I should have played him for everything. I feel like it would have been perfect. That parlay that I put on fucking Tillman would have been perfect on Mixon. Ben, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Arturo Flores in the building. Trade JJ for Lamar and JSN. We'll hit this and then we'll move on.
I don't know. A JJ is hard to come by, so trading JJ for a quarterback that's, it's been kind of up and down for Lamar this year.
But he's QB1 on the season. I'm almost
positive. I know he's QB1. And then they're talking every season about the MVP season that Lamar usually puts together. I mean, but fantasy wise with a quarterback and JSN's kind of consistently been getting better. He put up 30 here, 16 here, 14 there. I'm not really feeling it personally. But if you need a QB and you can use JSN to cover up that hole by the best wide receiver in the league, I mean, you could try it. Personally, if it was me, I'd want JJ because I feel like I can get something more in return.
I'm rocking this trade. I think you get Lamar, the best QB number 1 on the season, and I think you ride with him into the playoffs, and hopefully that puts you in the right position to get through to the championship. Ben, Joe Mixon, like, what a fucking game, dude. Monday night, what a fucking game by Joe Mixon. And it really just, what a year, by the way, if we're going to just touch on fantasy for a second, what a fucking year for me to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going wide receiver heavy. That's what I'm doing this year.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking year for me to just decide to do that, by the way.
Full of injuries, full of players that, like Jamar Chase earlier in the season, didn't want to play. The Miami-Dade Police Department wants to destroy Tyreek Hill's wrist. Like, it's just a whole culmination of a bunch of fucked up shit. Wide receiver-wise. And, yeah, the double RB hero strategy either works to a T or miserably fails. In one league, I got – honestly, you know what? Funny you say that. You know what I did with both of my teams? Mainly the league that I've been in the longest. I've transitioned all of my skilled players into running backs. I had Kupp, Hill, who else have I had? Marvin Harrison, Josh Downs, and I pivoted into Kamara, McCaffrey, Kyron, and kept Kupp. So I really went heavy on the RBs.
Yeah, see, and this is like a strategy that I'm going to steal from you next year is just offering trades.
Yeah.
Just keep on continuing to trade. That's where I fucked up. I stopped fucking trading and I just kind of sat there because I was 5-0. Wasn't a big deal. Yeah. Now I'm coming off the back of 6 straight losses. Like I should be asking you for advice rather than everyone asking us. I feel like I'm just getting my ass kicked like this fucking year, man. It's been horrible, man.
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase carried. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. I think I'm probably the worst person to have in a fantasy league if you invited me, because all I do is send trades. And once I get somebody on a trade, they're on the no trade list. Then it moves on to the rest of the league and I just spam and spam and spam and spam. Some people don't. Some people get mad. They send me shitty trades in return just to piss me off, whatever the case may be.
Some fucking people get mad. Dude, do you know how many times I've heard fuck Rocky this year from like everyone I know?
Oh, and who's leading the league pretty much? I'm tied for first right now. Oh, what an asshole.
Actually, on top of this, you're not only tied for first, you're tied for first with your second team.
It's not my second team.
It's your second fucking team, dude. It's your absolute second team. Jamar Chase carries as always. Arturo wants you to know that he also loves. Yeah, exactly.
It's the best part of fantasy. It's the best part of fantasy.
Yeah, Arturo, you and Rocky, you're in a league together next year, away from everybody else.
We just swap the entire teams.
You know what? Glad your team went crazy. My team fucking shit the bed. Of course, the 1 week I don't start Jordan Addison, he scores fucking 16 points.
Yep.
Just fucking fantastic.
Oh, real quick. Lastly, not to shit on Dan.
No, roast me for this because I deserve it.
Yeah. So on TikTok, everyone's like, who do I anytime Cedric Tillman was brought into conversation, Dan says Cedric Tillman. Cedric Tillman to this person. Cedric Tillman. I left 64 points on my bench because I started Cedric Tillman. And I also started Tucker Kraft, who had 0 points. And I somehow won by 1 point in my league, and I needed it so bad.
Okay,
Jerry Jeudy dropped 29 points.
All right, but this is okay. So one, I got mixed up on the wide receivers. Obviously, I meant to say Jeudy instead of Tillman 655 times. No, what? Okay, one, I knew a Cleveland Browns wide receiver was gonna have a good week. Now, would you think it would be Jerry Jeudy, who's been averaging fucking 6 points, right? Or do you think it would be Cedric Tillman, who's coming off the back of 28 points, 19 points, 22 points?
Judy's been decent. That's the thing that sucks about this Cleveland offense. So now you got Winston throwing the ball, but it's so spread around. So now I'm stuck with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, and I'm like, who am I starting? Because I don't know.
That's so what I can either.
Yeah,
they're fucking ridiculous. Like that's okay. So one, I knew someone was going to blow up on that Cleveland Browns team, but it obviously wasn't Tillman. So I want everyone to know from the bottom of my heart and from my bank account, actually, because I had a Tillman parlay that basically just shit the bed. I looked, you know what I did? I was so confident, Rocky Prop, that I didn't even watch the 1 o'clock. I wasn't even watching until you texted me and were like, you know what, Ben? This fucking guy, this is what I get. This is what I get after I'm tearing out my own heart for you right now. 234.
That's stupid. I mean, I know he had Saquon. That's PPR. Stupid.
Hey, Ben, I just want you to know we helped you get this. So when you win the championship, I will be claiming your championship as a co-win for both of us. I just want you to know that. Rocky Prop's not involved. He's not even allowed.
I don't want to be involved. I need to win one on my own. I need one. All right. I'm on YouTube talking about this shit. I need a dub under my belt.
Oh, you're going to get it. You'll win.
Yeah, lastly, I had a last thing, and then we'll get into building some NHL parlays for tonight. I had a parlay that was $100, and I never place $100 bets. $100 to 600, and it was like a 6-leg parlay. They all hit. The last ones were the Texans to win and Nico Collins to get 60 yards. So I went to go watch midget wrestling at a nightclub in my local town for some reason. It was just in town. We were like, fuck it, let's go. So me and my boys go. And in the car on the way back, I'm looking at my sports book, and I see that Nico doesn't have 60 yards. And I thought there was 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I had a cash out option of 300. So I cashed it out and realized it was the start of the third quarter. So I'm in the car beating myself up like, damn, he's going to get those 6 yards. I'm such an idiot. I just threw out $300. Thankfully, and surprisingly enough, I'm glad I cashed it out because it would have not have hit. So it worked out for me in my favor. I knew you had Cup because I had Cup too, and I was very thrilled. It helped me win. LOL, I had Saquon, Mixon, Amon-Ra. He picked up Tyson because of Kittle and Jamar and Texans defense. I had Texans defense too. Yeah, Texans defense put up like 20. Taysom Hill put up 44 in a full PPR format, which is stupid.
Hold on. There were two that came into the fucking TikTok that were like, listen, should I start Taysom Hill? And I think we both were like, nah, like that's stupid. Those two people have got to hate us.
Oh, they probably hate us. No, because they said flex Taysom, and I was like, but that's the thing with Taysom. I always say this when we talk about Taysom. I'm like, it's hit or miss. He's either going to get 30 or 0. So you can give it a rip.
So like, how do you know? See, this is the thing. We talked about this on the phone earlier. I'm fucking doing auto draft next year. I'm just letting it roll.
Yep.
And I'm gonna roll with the punches. Because you know what the problem is? I thought about having these players all off season. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But you know what, dude? The fucking guy with the fucking auto drafted teams in second place tied for first with you.
Yeah, he's got a squadron. He's got Mixon, Kamara, Daniels, Jamar Chase of craziness.
Talking about his second team, saying he's got a fucking.
It's not my second team. Anyway, it's my girlfriend's brother. Anyway, But what I was saying about Taysom Hill is why it's so hard to call fantasy-wise is, listen, you notice one thing? You go on any sports book, you will never find any line for Taysom Hill. Receiving, rushing, passing. He does it all. Dude's going to kick a fucking field goal next week.
Yeah, but you know what? Like that, the only reason they can't offer lines is because if they were to offer a line, it would have to be plus 1,000 for him to score a touchdown each game. Like, because there's games where he doesn't put up any stats.
There's games he doesn't see the field.
Yeah, what the fuck? What is the point of having Taysom Hill if you're not going to use it? If that's the performance he's going to turn in, why is he not playing more?
Yeah, you know what sucks too is as an Alvin Kamara owner. Okay, I saw him steal a touchdown. I'm like, all right.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm like, all right, whatever. He scored 3. I was like, oh, next end zone. Like, so I'm done taking Kamara anytime touchdown with Taysom Hill. It's a fucking mess. Let's check out some of the props for tonight. Appreciate everybody joining. We're gonna get to fantasy football on TikTok here soon. Wait, hold on. Yeah, what did that say? Ben Carroll says Mixon, Saquon, Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase, Cup, Taysom Hill, Texans D, Lamar, and this was Lamar's lowest week too. You know how pissed I would be if someone dropped 230 on my head, on my dome.
And you didn't even come close to getting fucking 230. Like,
I won this week 129.03, and my opponent had 128.9.
That's almost a sweeter win, though. You know?
I mean, no, it's not. I was walking through the whole week being angry, and then I was like, oh. No, I want to feel like I have the fucking Avengers on my team. Anyway, all right, let's see if we can build out some parlays. We're going to check out between NHL and NBA. And listen, I used to be very heavy on sports betting on this channel. Fantasy, I knew was going to do well. I'm big into fantasy, so I'm happy. I still enjoy having the mix, so we're going to run a little bit of the show through sports betting. Drop in your questions. We'll get to them for fantasy, and then we're going to switch to TikTok a little bit later in the stream. Looking at the games tonight. All right, so before we do this, honestly, because I know I haven't watched a ton of hockey this season, and I know Dan has watched probably close to no hockey in general this season.
Ooh, on the contrary. I've watched every Sabres game this year.
Really? Okay. All right, so I'm going to share this tab. We're going to check out the standings real quick. We're going to go by conference because fuck the divisions. We'll do wild card. And it's going to be a tough one for your boy Rocky Prop. First place in the Eastern Conference is the 13-4 Washington Capitals. Huh? That's ridiculous. I don't know how that's happening. Carolina 13-4, which I'm not surprised about. New Jersey's 12-7. Florida 12-5. Toronto, New York, Tampa, Boston, New York, Philly, Ottawa, Buffalo, Pittsburgh 7-10. We need to fire our coach ASAP. We're minus 25. And then Columbus, Detroit, and Montreal.
Yeah, the Sabres are no better, though, honestly.
No, they actually, in fact, are better with less games. They have the same record. And then in the West, the Jets are killing everyone. Minnesota and Marc-Andre Fleury, Vegas, LA, Dallas, Vancouver, Colorado. Colorado's sinking right now. Edmonton's sinking right now, 9-8. Utah.
All
right, cool. All right, so let's just look at a little bit of the slate based on the information we know what teams are playing well. Because I would probably let me find a game tonight. I'd be like the Islanders and the Flames. Who's the favorite? They're about even. Canucks Rangers is a good matchup. It's only a small slate today. I'm definitely hammering Tampa.
Yep.
And then Minnesota as well. Minnesota's playing well. St. Louis isn't that good.
Now,
and then
let me ask you a question. Do you like these teams enough to play them minus 1.5?
As to win by 2?
Mm-hmm.
I do not like the spread at all. I've very rarely taken the spread for anything. I think the first time I ever said with the points was like 3 streams ago, and it's just because I wanted to say it. I don't like spread. I don't like taking a prop to do 2 things rather than 1. I'll take them to win. I'm not going to take them to win, and someone's got to get a hat trick, and someone's got to do
that's ridiculous. But like when you're looking at money lines like this, you're getting juiced out the ass for just to win is minus 162. So,
majority of hockey games end.
What I'm going to ask though, like you look at there's a plus number beside the minus 1.5. So which one do you like enough to take that plus number?
So is this for Winnipeg or is this under 1.5? So you can take it for it to be a 1-goal game?
No. That's Winnipeg minus 1.5 goals.
So under, so they don't score more than 2 goals.
No, that's Winnipeg winning by 2 goals, basically.
And then this is Florida winning by 2 goals?
This is Florida plus 2 goals, basically.
So Florida score more than 2 and Winnipeg to score more than 2. That's what it is, right?
Nope. It's Winnipeg 4 and Florida 2 and you win the game. Winnipeg 2, Florida 0, you win the game. So Winnipeg starts with minus 1.5 goals when they start the game. So Florida is technically winning by 1.5 when the game starts.
I don't even want to have it. That's confusing as fuck. What? I don't want any part of that.
Same thing when the Bills are like minus 3 to the Jags. Like it's the same thing. They're giving them fucking 2. They're giving them 1.5 points already.
Yeah, it sounds gay as fuck. Anyway, I'm sorry. That sounds ridiculous. They're getting it. It's fucking. This isn't Fantasyland. It's the score of the game. Am I winning or am I losing? What the fuck?
All right, that's just spread betting, though. The fact that you don't understand spread betting is why Prize Picks has ruined the world. Is Danny DeVito better for Malik Neighbors?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think
believe
so. That line is
No.
terrible.
Let me tell you why. Because
All
when
right,
Saquon Barkley came in, when Saquon Barkley was there and Danny DeVito was in, there was a certain sense of like swagger and fun that ran through that entire roster because they didn't have some fucking scared stiff at quarterback. Like, oh, Danny DeVito's gonna go out there, fucking start slinging the fucking the fucking Italian wrist, and it's gonna get some juice into this offense, and he's gonna say, "Hi, I'm Danny DeVito." Not Danny DeVito. I thought it was Tommy DeVito.
It's Tommy DeVito.
Oh,
He's
this is
making
not
a
an
joke
actual
with
question.
Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito.
Oh, so is it an actual question, or is he just busting my stones?
No, he's trying to
just
fucking
get
ask.
you. If I'm Tommy DeVito, I'm getting on the field and I'm like, wow, they sat Daniel again. There's money on the table. They just drafted this kid number one, not number one with their first pick that they had, the highest pick in the fucking draft in the first round. I am going to sling this dude the ball as many times as I can and then give it to Tyrone Tracy when I don't have to. Number one look. And he's got great hands, dude. Who else are you going to play better with? I think it's huge for him. Confidence is going to go up for him as well as the team. And I think they're going to have a couple games strung together where Malik Neighbors does pretty well. These props are ridiculous. First goal scorer is nuts.
Yeah, but imagine if you fucking hit that.
And honestly, hockey, you're more likely to smack any one of these because it's just such a random game of bounces. Plus 4,000. Let's see shots on goal. McDavid, you can't take unders on here. That's ridiculous.
Oh my God. Is this breaking news?
I told you not to come in my chat telling people what I do on Fridays, bro.
Oh my God.
Damn, bro.
Rocky prop.
No, you can't tell anyone anything anymore. Like, hey, dude, listen, like, this is where I'm gonna be on Friday. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, just keep it low. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and tell everybody. You're fucking so cool. All right, fuck the NHL for right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this book. Cavs Celtics is gonna be a huge betting game. I think the Cavs have a strong chance to upset Boston tonight. I love that one.
Okay. Everyone is that's like the game everyone's calling. There's the fact that the Cavs are 15. Are they 15-0 now?
I think they lost.
No, they're undefeated. They're still undefeated.
Oh, lit.
Yeah, so I think they're 15-0, or 14-0, whatever. I don't know. But if anyone's gonna do it, it's Boston, right?
Yeah, I agree.
They could shoot like 84% from three and like beat them by 45 points. Like,
yeah,
Boston.
No, I agree. I agree, but I think it being plus 210, I'm gonna take my money and put it on the 14-0 team to be plus 210. If they were minus 110, I'd be like, all right, whatever. I'm just not gonna bet on this game.
No, I guess that makes sense. But still,
no, there's a strong chance that Boston comes in and beats them. But also, this is a statement game for them. Okay, cool. You're 14-0. You're the Cavs. Whatever. You come in and you beat Boston and you're 15-0. That's fucking different.
The one thing that really matters is they're playing in Boston. Like it's not happening tonight. I would take Boston money line. I would take a -7. I think Boston beats them by like 25 points tonight.
Okay, I like that. I will be sprinkling a little. This is one of those things where I'd probably like have a ticket like this and then replace it without the Cavs on it. Just to have the odds be nice. Like, what if you threw a little 30 piece on this? A little 30 to win 240. And then if you took the Cavs off and you put on Boston, it'd be 30 to win like 80. 30 to win 100.
That's not bad, and it's probably going to happen. So
you should just run a book, Dan.
Why?
I don't know. You should just have a little camera every time someone's placing a bet so you can see what they're doing and just narrate as they pick.
That's not bad.
You're like, that's not bad. You're like, how about fucking...
Right, here's what I like. Scroll down.
Okay.
Let me give you some fucking hot fire real quick. Keep scrolling. We're going to take the Jazz plus 11. Because I need 11 points. Scroll up. We're
So
going
that's for them to win by 11 points or more.
No, that's plus 11. They get 11 points. So when the game starts, the Jazz have 11 points already.
I don't understand this. Keep going.
How do you not understand it?
What
That's
the fuck
fucking
does that
question.
mean?
What do you mean? What does that fucking mean? That's not even. You gamble. You are a gambler.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. When we went through Degen Fantasy class before we started this show, you're talking about the fucking spread. I was like, I understood everything else, but when you're talking about spread, I would just be like, okay, yeah, I got you. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so I feel like this is not this hard at all.
Okay.
You know sports, right?
Yeah.
When the game starts and you bet money line, each team has 0.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when you bet spread and you're getting 11 points, when the game starts, you're winning 11-0 already.
And what does that do for my parlay?
It takes your odds from minus 610 to fucking minus 110.
So if the Jazz lose by 9, do you still win?
Yeah. If the Jazz lose by 10, you still win. If the Lakers win by 12 or more, they win that game.
Get the fuck out of here. So you can bet on a team to lose.
And this is why this matters, by the way. See the juice on the other side? If you're going to bet the Lakers and you don't have $6,500 to make it really worth your while, you're going to put them with 3 other teams to make it a positive parlay. Now, look at that spread and what it did to your fucking parlay odds. They went from plus 149 to, I'm almost positive they went to like plus 394 because you're getting minus 110.
Well,
So
Lightning closed.
At 110. What?
Lightning just closed. This game just started.
Don't worry about it. Just pop it down. But basically, what I'm saying is people bet spreads because the juice is less. You only have to bet $110 to win 100. If you were to bet the Lakers straight up money line, you have to bet $650 to win 100. That's why spread betting is a huge asset to people that don't fucking take just parlays.
So what if we did a spread parlay?
It's much more difficult.
Yeah, let's run it. A couple randos here. So this is the Pelicans they have 13 points at the start of the game, and then if I took the Mavs, that means they'd have to win by 13 or more.
If they win by 13, it's a push, and you just get your money back.
If they win by 14, I win. If they win by 12, I lose.
Yep.
I'd have to do a lot of research into this because how many teams really get blown out? I mean, you'd have to search for blowouts, and the odds wouldn't be that nice.
And this is why if you gamble and you play spreads, if you hit 58% of your bets, you're ripping. Like you're loaded with cash. But if you do money line, you got to hit like 98%.
Wow.
To make money over time. This is a good place to stop. Mondo, 99.69. Traded Monty, Mooney, and Reed for Kyron and T. Higgins. What do you think?
Monty, Mooney, and Reed.
I don't think that's a good play at all.
T just dropped 40. First off, I keep looking to my right because I also have a screen to my right just displaying you. But T just dropped like 40 or 30 points, and Kyron is regarded as one of the top RBs in fantasy, who I just traded for. I think trading Monty and Mooney is pretty fair, and I think he threw in Reed to get it done, which I don't mind. It was a good piece to throw in, but also that same token, it was a good piece to throw in. So you're losing out on the upside of having Jaden Reed. I don't dislike it. I think if you got Kyron and like a trash ass wide receiver in return, and you just wanted Kyron mainly, this would be a shitty trade. I'll give you 7 out of 10 stars. I probably would have made this trade. I would have probably liked a better, more healthy name like a Devonta Smith, who's kind of in that same category as like behind a number 1 wide receiver. But I like it. I give it a thumbs up.
You like this trade? You like
I
this?
I do like Monty, but I think Monty and Mooney have been tough though.
Mooney as well is what gives me pause here.
Yeah. You shouldn't have had to pay the Reed if you're adding in Mooney. I would have liked it better if it was Monty, Reed, and someone else.
That's what I'm saying. I think you could have traded Monty and Reed and someone else rather than fucking Mooney. Mooney is hot as fuck right now. Is he not? He didn't have a great game last week, or this past game, but dude, Mooney's hot. He's ripping. That's what I'm about to look up his stats. Like,
yeah, Mooney's been nice. And I think in the flip side of it too, Kyron's kind of had a couple down games as well, so you could have bought a little bit more lower on him.
yeah, dude, that offense is throwing the fucking ball at a crazy rate right now. I don't understand why you buy into Kyron when Puka and Cup are completely healthy right now.
Well, I just bought into Kyron.
Okay, well let's look at it like this then. Mooney.
Also, Mooney has a bye this week.
Okay, I understand. Since week 8, 18, 19, 14, and 4.7. So, shitty game last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at fucking Kyron.
He just dropped, what was it, 8 in my lineup.
All right, so since week 8, 22, 10, 11, and 8. Like, is that exciting? I feel like that's not exciting. Like, at all. I don't understand, like, why.
Exciting? He doesn't feel like it's exciting enough.
And then Monty can go off like he did last game.
Detroit is the number 1 scoring football team with running backs. You can take any one of their running backs every week to score, and you'll most likely hit it. You can take Joe Mixon and David Montgomery and Saquon Barkley, maybe not Saquon, and Derrick Henry, and cash every fucking week. I wonder what those odds are.
You know what? I think there's four running backs mostly that are like you could take and they'll score every week. But
Mixon, Henry.
I'm just gonna say on my end, I'm not a fan of this trade. I think Mooney.
I'm
has
not crazy about it.
I think Mooney has higher upside than T. Higgins. I understand that we were looking at a good week for T, but they are few and far between. He has not been that good at all. Is Brian Thomas cooked now since he's on the Jags and they're gonna tank? Yeah, I think so. If Mac Jones is playing, I'm good. Like I'm set on that. And I think this is a really important question this week. Ryan, good to see you back. How are you guys feeling about Mike Evans coming back?
I invested my entire season in Mike Evans. That's how I'm feeling. I traded Tyreek Hill, Bucky Irving, and Khalil Shakir for Kyron Williams, Mike Evans, and Tucker Kraft. I was sick of the Tyreek Hill experiment. Always wanted him in fantasy. Finally got him. Played like shit. Wrist is fucking torn. What'd you say?
He had 15 points, didn't he?
He had 19. Which ain't bad. But now I'm coming into having Mike Evans this week. Oh my God, big. I still won. I don't give a fuck. So now I'm coming into this week having Mike Evans healthy. Hopefully he can put up 10 plus or more. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be healthier than Tyreek is rest of season.
We'll see.
1. No Chris Godwin. 2. 3. Baker Mayfield just fucking throws the ball. K-Dot and being there is going to definitely help him out a lot. I think they're going to lean on him. And I think that's kind of what I invested my season on. And then I also just grabbed Kyron as a nice piece of that trade. So now my team's McCaffrey, Kamara, Evans, Cup, Kyron, and Downs or Jennings.
No, definitely a good trade. Definitely a good trade. I understand it. But let's talk about Mike Evans. Let's really talk about Mike Evans.
You know, it's funny.
I don't think you start him right away. I think we've seen from just the season in general, when wide receivers come back from injury the first week, they're not fucking good. Right? Can we agree? Like even Nico only had 54 yards or some shit.
I'm trying to think of other examples other than Nico. He's been all right.
He didn't have. I just feel
J-Mo played well. Yeah, but I get what you're saying though. You're right.
Well, I'm just saying when we've seen let's look at McCaffrey. He hasn't been playing that well, has he?
Yeah, no, he's still ramping up. I'm not mad at it. He's putting up.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
serviceable numbers though.
Coming off of a fucking injury, I don't think you can start him like right away. I think give him a week, and then the Bucks have one of the more like favorable schedules for the rest of the way. They could go 6-1 in the last 7 games, and if Mike Evans is going to be a huge part of that. They've also found something with a 3 running back system now. They have 3 running backs that can fucking whip it. Like, they're good as fuck. And you got Cade Otton, who's literally become a number 1 wide receiver while Mike Evans is out.
Yeah, true. I'm hoping that draws attention.
Listen, they are 5-1 right now to win the fucking division over the Atlanta Falcons. I think you take a spin and put a little ticket on them to win their division.
I'm curious to what their rest of season schedule is. Buccaneers season schedule, because I want to see who the matchups are for Mike Evans rest of season. So they have next week, great game to come back. Like, look at this slate for the Bucks. Ready? So let me see. I'll screen share it so we can be a little more inclusive real quick, and then we'll get to that next question.
We are always about inclusivity here at Degen Fantasy.
Let me zoom the fucking bang, 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 bang. So this Sunday, Bucks Giants, great matchup. Bucks Panthers.
That's where you start Mike Evans.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm starting him here though, because I just don't give a fuck. Bucks Panthers, Bucks Raiders, Bucks Chargers, Bucks Cowboys, Bucks Panthers for your first week of fantasy playoffs, and then fantasy championship is Bucks Saints.
And the Saints have the 30th worst pass defense in the league. Let up almost 400 yards to Jameis Winston. Baker's going to sling that rock, buddy.
Baker's going to be baking, dog. He's going to be cooking.
And he's got the Panthers twice. He's got the Cowboys that are going to be tanking for a fucking a quarterback. Go scroll up. Chargers is the only losable game. I think they win 6 out of 7 games.
Raiders, Panthers, Giants.
Yeah, they're going to beat the Giants because Tommy DeVito is terrible. Like, he's terrible. So they're going to beat the Cowboys. They're terrible. The Chargers, they're going to have a tough time with. But listen, Baker's going to be there, and if he's there, like, they got a shot. I think Baker's really good.
He is really good. Exactly. I think that's I think Mike Evans is somebody you want to secure. Chop Dupe says Tracy or Hunt. I think it's Tracy. What'd you say?
Pacheco's coming back.
With Pacheco coming back, it's Tracy.
Pacheco's coming back week 12, by the way, so just in time for fantasy.
If your deadline has not passed yet, like in one league it passed for me, but in the league I have with Double Down here, it's the 24th. If you can still move Hunt like right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan says I traded Terry, Matheson, and JMO for Evans, Robinson, and Adams when Evans went on IR. So you got Devontae Adams, DeMarcus, or Brian, or Bijan Robinson, one of the Robinsons, and Mike Evans for Terry. And Terry had a shit game last week. Dude, you fleeced. That's a fleece. That's a fleece. Yeah, it was funny. I remember one of our early on streams when we first started this channel, I said, I don't know why, this was last season, I was like, I don't know why anyone ever drafts Keenan Allen or Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And you said to me, because I said they're just not fun to watch. And this is when Keenan was on the Chargers. And you said to me, you will have Mike Evans or Keenan Allen one day. Everybody has had them once.
Yep.
It is now. Mm-hmm. I traded Tyreek Hill for Mike Evans. And Kyron Williams. But whatever the fucking case may be. And I got rid of Bucky too, because like I like Bucky and he's playing. I felt like the whole situation with Judy and Tillman, like I don't know when it's going to be a Bucky game or not a Bucky game. And I'm not into the business of getting into the fantasy playoffs and being like, who do I start? And then watching and then losing the playoffs because specifically I started the wrong player.
Low-key, that's the worst thing about having Monty and not also having Gibbs. Like, I wish I could just start both of them every week.
That's honestly, it would have been a phenomenal trade strategy. There's no other running back room in the league that you can do that.
Seriously.
Maybe with the Bucks. I mean, kind of starting to get there.
Listen, they catch balls. They catch balls. Pause that, but they catch balls. Those fucking backs.
Pause that.
They're absolutely.
Yeah, they do. Do I start Judy over Brian Thomas from now on?
Yeah. I think it's all matchup depending. Like if they're gonna have to throw the ball a lot, I don't even know what Brian Thomas has really been doing like statistically, but if they're in a matchup where they're going to have to throw the ball a lot, he's got Mac Jones. So you got to I would start Judy right now just because I think Jameis Winston's a better quarterback.
That's a good beverage. Yeah, J-Mo's just slinging the rock, bro. That's what we want to see out of a quarterback.
Just slinging the rock, bro. After you say that's a good beverage out loud.
Because I'm pimp like that. Come on, dog. Ryan says Brian Robinson is the one he got in return, and he just traded him away for CD. Despite whatever's going on with CD, I'll take that all day. Brian Robinson for CD Lamb. I'm about it. So yeah, fucking
fucking great. That's a
so then he basically got in the trade. He traded Terry McLaurin, Matheson, and J-Mo for Evans, CD, and Adams. That's fucking stupid. That's the police of the year. Are you talking to me? What I'm over here for?
I got a big fat booty over here jiggling.
Dan, let's keep it together. This is a children's show where we get them to sports bet.
It's not. Yeah,
yes, it is. Oh my God.
Pop it up. Pop it up. Boston Celtics up by 8 points already. I was 2-5. Now I'm 6-5. You know what, Ryan? Actually, I was 5-0, and now I'm 5-6. That's how good I am right now.
That's gross, Ryan.
Ben Carroll,
that's big props.
Child, I apologize, Ben Carroll. But what am I supposed to do when there's?
I don't know. That's a very grown adult name.
Yeah, Ben Carroll sounds like you're 75.
Sounds like you have a mortgage.
Ben Carroll, there's no way he wasn't born with a mortgage already. Just going to say it. His parents named him, and they were like, here's a house.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you have a Roth IRA with that name. Ryan said, I also have Tracy on bench, I guess, or do I go DK?
I would probably favor DK over Tracy.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
All right, Ben, I'm going to pop this off the screen soon as you're 15 years old, and we'll get into some more fantasy football here. Yeah, but Celtics are smoking them off the gate.
Ben, women are evil. I just want you to know that. Just know it in your heart, okay? They're evil, and they will try to distract you from a fantasy football podcast with their bodies, Ben. Okay? Stay away from women.
Yeah, stay away from them. Just, yeah.
Love you too.
Ben, are you in a buy-in league? Are you technically betting on fantasy football?
Whoa!
I'm just curious.
You're asking a lot of questions that you don't need to know the answers
to. You're asking a lot of questions. All right, whatever the fuck. It's on a YouTube channel.
Fuck that, Ben.
Ben's like, we're throwing down Halloween candy. Don't worry about it. Yeah, go DK on that one.
All right, hit that one.
Why are you touching the chat, dog? Downs or Jennings? I have the same issue myself. I'm going Juwan. I'm starting him next week over Downs. I mean,
hey, AR-15, 20 for 30. He's finding the wide receivers a little bit easier these days.
I wonder if he was like a little more banged up with that hip than we were led to believe.
Maybe. I mean, it's a possibility. He did suck ass though. I'm gonna go Downs for touchdown upside right now. Jennings did look really good. He looked really, really good last game, though.
He has a bigger buy-in league than I've ever participated in my life, and he's 15.
You've never done a $100 buy?
No, I've done like 50s or basically 50 or 25. No, I have done a $100 buy actually.
Yeah, I was about to say. Ben Carroll's ripping the game, but buddy, Ben,
not a 12 man though.
This is what we call a slippery slope, my friend. You, in about 5 years, 10, by the time you're Rocky Props age, you'll be doing a gambling podcast with another older friend that's teaching you the ropes, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a great day for you.
That's terrible.
What?
Crap or hockey? I don't know.
Your life's so bad. You just hit a $300 parlay yesterday. How about you? Come on.
I said that's terrible. You just relayed my life. I'm like, that's terrible. I do more than this YouTube channel. Fuck you guys. Kraft or Hawkinson? What'd you say? Huh?
I said you hit fucking parlays like you was what you do. That's what I said.
That is what I do. He got
Kraft
it out.
Or Hawkinson? Answer his question.
I mean, how do you go Kraft after dropping 0 points? I don't know.
I think you look at the matchup, honestly. I think that's what you do.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to put a little more thought into this podcast other than I think we're going to have to look at them. You can say that about every single question. Every single question. Ready? Hold on. Ready? Hold on. Ready? Shh. Ready? I have Tracy on the bench or do I go DK? I guess you got to look at the match. Tracy or Hunt? Well,
let's look at the matchup. Let's look at the matchup. I just think we should look at the matchup. Is
Brian Thomas cooked or because he's on the Jags?
Look at the matchup. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit further. All I'm saying is I was picking up my phone to look at the fucking matchups before I answered the question. You want me to do a woman rant like I did last week and look like an asshole? Is that what you want?
Is that what you want? Yeah, if you want, go ahead.
Don't Trump back at me. Don't do that.
I didn't do the Trump. I was doing something else. I just did the hands.
All right, Hawkinson's got the Bears, which they look like they're fucking crumbling from within right now. So
yeah,
especially after that letdown last week, I think they are going to get the shit kicked out of them this week. And then we have Kraft playing who? The 49ers. I'm going to go Hawkinson.
Yeah, I think it would tail Hawkinson.
Also, can you explain to me what the fuck your offense is? Are you going to ever throw to Jaden Reed like on a normal basis, or is this just like...
It's over. It's chicken wraps for Jaden Reed.
What the fuck, man? Who's the number one wide receiver in Green Bay? Can you tell me that?
Josh Jacobs.
That's bullshit. Don't fucking... Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Number one wide receiver is not Josh Jacobs.
It's Josh Jacobs.
He's going to be a pro fantasy player and a podcast as a side job. You know what, Ben? I'll be your first subscriber. Let me know.
Yeah, I'll sub. I got you. I'll sub.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is it though? That's what I want to know.
It is, but he isn't treated like one. You want to know why he is? Because of the yardage and the touchdowns. And he was like 1 through 6.
I feel like Watson and Dobbs get way more fucking touchdown play than him. That's what I feel.
Christian Washington. I hate him.
I do too. He's a deep threat, and Dobbs has got but that's what I'm saying. I feel like Dobbs is like. I feel like when he came back, Jordan Love was throwing him the ball all the time.
Yeah, that's his pen pal. It's Romeo Dobbs. When they were both on IR and Dobbs got suspended, they were just chatting back and forth. Yeah, I just would you say to me, dog?
Oh my god, you're fucking ridiculous. I got you, Ben. There it is.
Ben says y'all can be my first.
Hey Ben, if you ever get famous, take us with you, buddy. Take us with you.
Yeah, let us come aboard. Yeah, I'll sub. I don't think I panic yet. Reed will get targets if we want to win. I agree with that too. You gotta utilize your best wide receiver, and they've done it. It's proven. There's other shit where it's like Pacheco. I've never seen Pacheco come back from an injury this severe.
I am very curious about that.
Yeah, with Pacheco. So it's like, at least with Jaden Reed, like you've seen it happen. So it's kind of like waiting on it. Like, do you panic on Pacheco when he destroyed his leg? You held him on your IR spot. You had him now. The panic was 8 weeks ago. You don't panic anymore. If you have him, trade deadline's over in most leagues. You can't trade him. You're firing up Isaiah Pacheco with the Nick Chubb effect. Also, I just want to just claim a little bit of clout, a little bit of love on my Nick Chubb. I wish Nick Chubb came back and played like he. I knew he wasn't. That was one of the most catastrophic injuries I've ever seen in my life.
I think we got to give him a year.
Yeah, you do have to give him a year. Not this one.
I think next year he'll be better. I think next year, if he stays healthy, he'll be better. I think that's what we need to know. This is a good question because I think actually Ryan could answer this question because it was a weird thing to see them only throw the ball 18 times. What the fuck were they doing?
I think we answered this kind of in a sense to. Hold on, let me drop this back up real quick. I think this is your answer right here. Look at the schedule for Baker Mayfield. Fantasy championships are week 15 and 16, or is it 16 and 17? So the fantasy championship playoffs would be First round would be against the Cowboys. Why am I fucking drawing a blank? It'd be the Panthers and the Saints, though, as your last two. And if it's not, and it's the Cowboys and the Panthers, like, you're still lit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's completely right. Like, Love ends with 2 division opponents. I'm good on that. So do the Bucks, but the Panthers suck. And I actually think the Saints really suck too.
That'll be a little bit of a fucking, if depending on who they have back healthy, if Olave plays, that'll be a shootout. That's all the way in January.
What? Got the Raiders? That's pretty fucking solid, man.
Looking at Baker, that shit is easy. Yeah. I think Baker's the play here. There's a couple players that so with the fantasy playoffs, and also I called this stream to how to sneak. This is your last chance to win, how to sneak into the fantasy playoffs. The main thing that I wanted to really get into on this podcast before we go to TikTok with running your fantasy football team is 1, really looking at the rest of season schedule, but 2, up until then, really trying to narrow down, just in basic conversation between Double Down and I, how we can kind of correlate to just not getting just absolutely destroyed starting or sitting like certain players. Like, I think one of the worst feelings is having a shitty player on a player on your bench drop 40. Matchups, like we just said, is the one thing. How important do you think those like recommended matchups on like the fantasy apps are, where it says like, oh, he's playing this week, they play well against tight ends, or they're not good at covering the tight end position? Then also, I think the main thing that fucks me up too is when it calculates their projection for fantasy points.
Yeah, that I feel like that fucks everyone up. Let me give you a fucking example real quick. And I think this is a really good point, Ryan, by the way. He can turn it on, and I thought he was going to. Something about that team doesn't look right to me right now. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look right. Now, Addison was projected to get 6.8 points this week. He finished with 16.1. So, do the projections really fucking matter? Josh Allen's projected to get 25 points every week. He gets sometimes he gets 9. Like, yeah, they don't fucking.
Do you want to know why? It's because when it shows you from the start of the week, like, okay, say I'm going against Double Down and he's literally right here to my left, and you have our 2 teams under us. If I'm projected to lose by 15 points, and I see someone in my starting lineups projected to get 9 and someone on my bench is projected to get 17 points, I'll swap them like, all right, cool, now I'm good. Instead of really noticing like, hey, so-and-so is hurt. He's getting a little bit more. You go to his stat sheet and you're like, okay, he went from 5 targets a game to 7 targets a game to 10 targets a game. He's kind of been hovering around 10 targets a game. And you look at someone like Marquise Valdez-Scantling, who has 32 fantasy points, 170 yards, and everyone's like, wow, that's insane. But he had 3 targets. So that's kind of like very volatile. I'm really trying to lean away from really. And then Ben Carroll says, what's y'all's records? All right, I'll start. So in the league that I've been in the longest, right now I'm 6-5. Tyreek Hill's kind of been fucking me. Had a little bit of injury trouble. 6-5. Won this week. Really needed it. And then in the league I'm with Double Down and a couple other creators and shit, I am 8-2. Went on a 2-week skid, and then won this past week. Oh, no, I'm 9-2. No, I'm 9-2. Yeah, 2-week skid, 9-2. My team's fucking gross, and I'm really confident about that one. What's the payout for that league?
3 to the winner, 150 to the second place, and 50 to third.
Fire. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then so in my first league, I'm 8-3, and then this league I'm 5-6. It's not great.
Yeah, that treading line game of a 5-5 like matchup, either 6-5 or 5-6.
Uh-huh.
I was panicked. Won by 0.9 points.
Yeah,
really fucking needed it. And I started Russell Wilson for some reason because I had Kyler on bye.
Yeah,
and because everyone's hoarding QBs in my league, and then I sat Judy and Downs. But I started Jennings in Cup, which really fucking saved me. So I'm hoping Evans comes in and starts playing well. Shadows WXZ says pick one to drop for Sutton. Hopkins, Tillman, Metcalf, or McLaurin. Dan, tell him what you were saying last week. It's Tillman. Tillman. It's still anybody. It's Tillman. Okay, you don't guys. We're answering it, big dog. You don't got to spam that. Yeah, like the stream. Now,
we need more comments. People will come by.
Yeah, Tillman. I mean, you can't drop Hopkins, the number one wide receiver in Kansas City. I'm so. By the way, we haven't even touched on that. Thank you, Double Down, Dan, for saving all of us from an undefeated Chiefs season. You even, because you're just so good at picking the games, you even took the Chiefs. And that might have been a little bit of reverse psychology because if you pick the Bills, maybe they lose the game. Huge win for the NFL. Thank you from every single sports betting team or sports fan in general to another one. Yeah, appreciate that.
Louier's in the house. Good to see you, my Canadian brother. Let's go back to this real quick because Ryan disagrees and he says, Rocky Prop, you're a fucking asshole. How dare you say Tillman should be off this team?
You're going to drop DK, D-Hop, or McLaurin? That was the only thought process. I'm not dropping any one of them. Number one wide receiver in Kansas City, the best team in the league. Number one wide receiver in Seattle. And McLaurin's the number one wide receiver in one of the other best teams in the league. I know he had 5 points last week, but who gives a fuck? Tillman just dropped 7. Tillman has to deal with Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore and David Njoku and whatever they're going to give to Nick Chubb. It's Tillman. If you're dropping one for Sutton, would you take Sutton over Tillman? Yes. As how Bo Nix has been playing, yeah. Fuck Cedric Tillman. I mean, I have him and I'm going to keep him. But I don't have.
First and foremost.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cedric, Cendric.
That's my dad you're talking about. There,
I just spelled that
my
right.
father you're talking about.
Oh, Sir Cedric?
Yeah. I'm Cedric Jr.
Ben says, did anyone else see when Hunter Henry got a 76-yard touchdown, but it got taken back off that call? Wouldn't have affected the play at all. Yeah, I don't know. There's been some suspect play calling in the NFL this season, as per usual.
Hey, these refs, though, they've been on some shit this year. They've been calling a lot of stupid fucking shit, like the entire season. Have you seen so many fucking procedure penalties in your goddamn life?
No, not at all.
This is fucking ridiculous. There's a 5-yard penalty every other play sometimes. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's only, when you watch an NFL game, you're only watching about like 7 minutes of actual play time. The rest of it's whistles and timeouts and flags and commercials. Which side would you rather have, Hurts and Reed or Baker and Marvin Harrison? Baker and Marvin Harrison.
I actually think it's Hurts and Reed.
Well, I went Baker and Marvin Harrison specifically because Marvin Harrison has been opening up a little bit. The Cardinals look good. And then Baker's rest of season schedule. And then Reed, we just talked about not even seeing targets or not playing well as like the number one he should be. And then Hurts is like on a great team. He's going to do what he does. Yeah. So I'm not mad at Hurts. If I can take, I like Baker and Marvin Harrison based on what we discussed previously in the podcast.
All right. I'm going to side with, can we, you know what? I wish I could just take Baker and Reed, actually. I think that's probably the one I would take. I like Baker, man. Good fucking year. Good fucking year for Baker. Tillman just put up a huge dud, and he hasn't started him all year. So, is it that crazy to Yeah, I'm just about to, you can't drop Scary Terry the week before he plays Dallas. Like that's stupid. Dallas has given up. They're already golfing. They're golfing right now.
They're golfing.
No, they are. I mean, did you watch the game? Did you
watch
I did.
That? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a fucking mess.
Watch the fucking games, Rocky Prop.
Mm-hmm. I watch the games, Double Down.
Right,
and I still make money on them when I don't.
Wow.
Yeah. I was watching midgets wrestle for the second 2 quarters.
Yeah, it's weird that you keep saying that, by the way.
It was fucking incredible. I'd never seen it before in my life. There's fucking little people.
Were you into it a little bit there, buddy?
Was I into it? Yeah, I was into it, Dan. What do you think you go for?
Did some blood start flowing? Is that what you're saying right now?
No, Dan, listen.
Saying.
If you're trying to call me Drake.
I'm asking the questions that Ben Carroll wants to know.
Yeah. Ben Carroll, the minor, wants to know all the terrible questions you have to ask with your beard and your fucking jersey on the wall.
Ben just roasted us.
Wait, did that actually happen? I just made
made
that up
up
to
to
see.
see what we would say. I took Baker and I made Shea to keep.
Wait, to what? Did what actually happen?
Whatever he just made up. Did anybody else see when Hunter Henry got a 76-yard touchdown? He just got us, man. All right. Anyways, rate my 12-man league. Stroud, Saquon, Gibbs, Evans, Lamb, Hawkinson, DK, Bench,
I was playing Madden, and it was a bad call, dude. It was a real terrible call.
Yo, we just got roasted by a 15-year-old. I just want you to know.
Who the fuck watches Hunter Henry?
I'm like, yeah, Hunter Henry, he's killing it.
Everyone's signing off. Rate my team. Stroud, Saquon, Gibbs, Evans, Lamb, Hawkinson, DK, Bench, Tillman, Kraft, Tracy, Chubb.
Oh, God.
Relax.
That's a great team.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about?
I thought you were going to say, oh, God. Stroud and Saquon and Gibbs, fire. Evans and Lamb, I like. Hawkinson and DK is solid as fuck. Tillman, Kraft, Tracy, and Chubb. Having Tracy, I think, is such a fucking steal to have on the bench. And he also has Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's good. Clean. And, Kraft, he had a bad week last week, but, dude, he's killing it.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
This is an 8-8.
Yeah, that's honestly where exactly I was going to lead. I was going to go 8-5. I'll go 8-8 too. Yeah, 8-8 is pretty solid.
That's a great team.
Ben Carroll said I'm 15, but not when it comes to fantasy. Am I right, boys? Fucking it.
You know what, Ben Carroll? You are killing me right now. Jesus Christ. The next time he types something, we gotta actually read it before.
Mods, ban him in the chat. Okay, you're good. Pretty much revamp my team with those trades I was talking about. Yeah, you really fucking did. Your team looks clean. And then you also traded one package for CD, Evans, and Devontae Adams. Shadow WX says, you're killing me. Oh, Ben Carroll says, you're killing me, Smalls. My new lineup will be Jackson, McLaurin, Metcalf, Mixon, Hubbard, McBride, Hopkins, Fairbairn, Detroit D, Bench, Pacheco, Chase Brown, Sutton, Hurts, and Bates.
A lot of M's on that team. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Jackson, QB number 1 on the season. McLaurin, I think, has been fantastic. Metcalf, boom or bust right there. Mixon has got to be RB1 on the season if it's not Derek.
RB16. I looked today. He's RB16. It's ridiculous. He should be. He has some injuries.
Dude, running backs are killing it this year.
I know.
McBride, best, I think, outside of Bowers, best tight end in the league.
Bowers, Kittle, McBride.
Yeah. Hopkins, number 1 wide receiver in Kansas City. Fairbairn's been fucking skying field goals, and Detroit's defense is not the greatest, I would say, but good performance against the Jags last week, so I'll take that. What do you rate this guy's team?
I'm gonna go with Jackson, Mixon, and Hubbard. And then you got Metcalf, McLaurin. I think having Mixon's huge. You have Chase Brown, which is huge. You have Pacheco, which is huge. I think there's a lot of untapped potential here. I think you definitely could have made a move with Pacheco, with maybe a Hubbard or a Chase Brown, one of the two. I do like having a backup running back. Maybe you could have turned Metcalf and Sutton into something. So I think you could have got a stud because you have a lot of value, but also you're deep. You also have Hopkins too. I'm gonna go 8 flat. Great team.
8-2. I feel like 8-2 is good. It might be a 10-man. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a 10-man league.
10-mans are the best leagues. 7-4. Okay, I see you, bro. Who would you suggest be my starting lineup? If I was choosing, I would start. It would be Jack. Well, obviously you got to check the matchup first and foremost, and then it'd be Jackson, Mixon, Chase Brown, and then your wide receivers aren't the greatest, but they're solid. McLaurin, Metcalf, and if you have a double flex, obviously you start McBride. If you have a double flex, I'd go Hopkins and Hubbard. Or Sutton and Hubbard, one of the two, depending on the matchup.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Very solid. Do you want to dive into some Chase's a bye this week? Okay, then you just go Hubbard and then flex Hopkins and Sutton. So you go Chase Brown and Joe Mixon. Or, Hubbard and Joe Mixon. Do you want to try to stymie on TikTok?
Oh, no. We're an hour in.
That's what I was thinking, too. I just only brought it up because I didn't want you to be like, oh, what the fuck. All right, cool.
No, we're good.
Do you want to wrap here?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Ben says, a serious note.
No, we didn't see it, Ben.
Through that touchdown pass on a flea flicker. Dude, first and foremost, that secured my parlay, Christian Watson to throw a touchdown plus 17 million. And then on top of that, when I saw it, I actually passed out. I collapsed, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was great.
All right, Ryan says, my other league, Lamar, CMC, Mixon, Cup, Neighbors, Kittle, Gibbs. What a fucking squad that is.
Taylor on his bench.
What's that, a 4-man league?
Was that a 1-man league? What, did you write it down on paper, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on there? Let's see some actual fucking proof. I want pictures of this shit.
All right, Dan, before we go, I got to show you my Degen Fantasy kicks that I got.
Okay.
All right, peep the kicks.
You see me?
Those are not Degen Fantasy
with the
kicks.
gold tongs.
Picked up a pair of Jordan 5 gold tongues for $40. He said, yeah, me too. 6-man. Y'all do 6-man? Where do I send pics? Pause. So.
Oh, I was kidding. Let's not do that, guys. Let's not do that. Right.
What'd you say? You want feet pics?
No, I want pictures of these fucking teams that everyone has.
Drop them on tag us on Twitter.
Yo, X. Yeah, hit us with the X.
It's Degen Fantasy Bet on Twitter at Degen Fantasy Bet. Anybody see when Mike Geek got a 96-yard rushing touchdown?
Yo, do you remember when you read "Happy Birthday" to Dicks in Your Ass or something like that?
No, it was Hugh Janus.
No, it wasn't.
It was Hugh Janus.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what it was. Happy birthday, Hugh.
It was Dixon something.
No, it wasn't. It was Hugh Janus because I went and watched. It was HUE and then GANUS. Hugh Janus.
It was not. You know what? We're going back to that, actually, now that we think about it. We're going to go back to that episode and watch it again. It was not Hugh Janus. It was Dixon something.
Matter of fact, before we go, I've been meaning to do this on stream. I just want to show you guys really quick just how far your boys have come. All right. In 11 months, we went quite the way. Let me see if I can share this real quick. Degen Fantasy, we've been grinding on, and I really appreciate you guys like hanging in and chatting and doing all that good shit because we started more or less here. Let me pop it up. Degen Fantasy. Back in the building. This was 11 months ago.
Let me tell you, listen.
We had absolute. The stream looked terrible, and we gave our parlay and stuff. We actually sweep this entire stream, but we're not. This was the week before, whatever the fucking case may be. Yeah, we killed it. So we've been doing this grinding for 11 months, and you guys have really helped us out a lot. Please do us a favor. I'm updating thumbnails. I'm doing my best. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. And yeah, we're pumping out content, as you can see, constantly. So show us some love, and yeah, this has been another episode of Degen Fantasy.
Rock, give his dad a birthday shout out real quick though.
Oh, that's the oldest one in the book though. I'll do it anyway. Yeah, happy birthday, bend over. Hope you have a great birthday, brother. All right. Well.
Okay, buddy. Let's go.
Okay, buddy. All right, we're out. I'm tired. I'm rambling. All right, this has been Degen Fantasy. Later. Peace. We out this bitch. Where's my outro?
Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me.
Before I came up in the game, these hoes didn't show no love. They see me in the club and used to treat me like a scrub. They wouldn't holler.